There we go. We're live. Technically, we're live and recording for purposes.
Oh, nice.
So Spider, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, let's do it. So in terms of the intro, let's start off by, saying why we want to do this. And I'll start off by asking, Liger here, what got you into gaming and why the podcast? Like, why are we doing this?
Man, well, what got me into gaming? Pretty simple. Grew up playing FPSs with my brother. Halo was the first. GoldenEye technically on N64, and then Halo. We found out about this game and Bungie was making, and we were like, oh, let's play it. So I played that, fell in love with FPS, learned really how to play from my brother. He kicked my ass every single time we played. There was no mercy. There was nothing but him beating me usually. Then I got better, and now I'm 29 and he's 35, and I kick his ass every time we play. So I've always loved gaming. Nintendo 64 through Xbox to PlayStation, now to PCs. So it's kind of evolved over the years, and I've met a lot of really cool people, like this asshole next to me. He's a good dude, but no, we've always been talking about just starting a podcast just to talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. No censors, no limits, no anything holding us back. So we know there's a lot of topics in the world that we probably won't go near. But there's a lot of stuff that's literally we're gonna talk about whatever we want, throughout the week in the world and our lives and gaming and basically anything. So that's what got me into gaming and why I wanted to start a podcast with you. I value his opinion probably like more than like anyone. So we both have two even heads to have these type of conversations with. So
yeah, and I figure in terms of the podcast, you are literally over here, and I'm like, I'm calm, cool, and collected, right? So
yeah,
it's nice to have a significant balance, right? So
I would agree.
In terms of this podcast, we'll definitely talk about some drama-related things, which I think will be fun. We won't be necessarily picking a sides, but we'll talk about both sides, and I think that should be fine. The topics we're going to be talking about today, because I'm sure everyone is wondering, is we'll talk about Ninja, Dr. Disrespect, and some Shroud rumors. We'll keep it. We want to keep this whole podcast to about an hour, but we want to talk about that. We want to talk about Beyond Light. We might as well keep it gaming related for a part of it, and talk about some trials and get some opinions in there. And then, last but not least, we want to talk about the Joe Rogan clip. So, obviously, that clip blew up in terms of what he thinks about video games. We do have the clip here, and we'll show up later, and then we'll talk about that based on what we think. And then, last but not least, I have something called. He doesn't even know about this. Liger does not know anything about this.
Oh shit!
I have something called Liger's Hot Takes. Okay? So I think it's gonna be funny as fuck. I thought about it today because I was just like, we need something. We need something to make us a little bit different. And I think I'm gonna do these hot takes every single week. And the way it's gonna work is I have 5 hot takes today, and I'm gonna give Liger 2 options: option A or option B. So for example, I'll probably ask him. I'll say Pokemon or Digimon, and he has to answer within 2 seconds. No thinking involved. First option that comes to mind, and he has to say it. So I got some good ones later.
Oh, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be spicy.
We'll talk about that later. But yeah, first and foremost, we'll talk about Ninja, Dr. Disrespect, and some Shroud rumors. So we'll start with Ninja. I don't know if you saw today, but Hollywood Reporter actually reported on Ninja. It was a huge article, but to sum it all up, he's planning to get into Hollywood, go into maybe voice acting or cartoons or acting in general. So he's actually going to be in Ryan Reynolds' next movie.
Okay.
And I think that's pretty sweet.
Does that have a title yet, or like a release or anything, or is this just all?
It's called Free Guy, so it's a video game concept.
Okay.
Where, it's pretty much like a live action GTA type of movie, and it looks pretty sweet.
Okay.
But
that's cool.
In terms of release date, in terms of COVID-19, we have no freaking clue what's happening. But he's doing a cameo in that movie, which is pretty sweet.
Okay. That's pretty sick.
Honestly, he got $60 million. Got to walk away from streaming. He doesn't really need to stream anymore, right?
He could do whatever he wants, really. I mean, the world is his. What's the phrase? The world is
His mantle.
his mantle. I mean, he could literally has more money than he knows what to do with if he's responsible. And I think him and his wife have a good head on their shoulders for charity and probably investing. So I'm sure, you know.
Well, they're sure investing, man. I don't know if you saw the tweet a couple days ago. Apparently, someone in their family got coronavirus, so they're thinking about buying an island.
Oh shit! Well then, yeah, they're definitely investing their money. You know, that's definitely a good way to spend your money is buying an island. I'm sure. But yeah, no, I could see him in a lot of cameo things. You know, like I don't know if you remember, there was one. I loved the book. I loved the movie, Ready Player One. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it. They're talking about a second one in the next few years. I could see him as like a cameo in that movie, because like they referenced Twitch in the first movie, where what's his name, the main character is like, oh, I've seen every one of their Twitch streams or whatever. So it's like they referenced Twitch prior, so it's like, you know, obviously the same. It's still around in that window, but I think that they could have him in a cameo in that. That would be pretty cool. I could see that coming together.
Like I've seen him on the he was on the Masked Singer, like the live singing show. I don't know if he has the acting capabilities of doing a movie or anything like this, but it's nice that, you know, he has some goals.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd rather see him in the most toxic shit. Him yelling and swearing would be hilarious, but obviously we'll never see that side of him again unless he starts playing Halo
or H1Z1. Honestly, I don't know if you've seen this or chat, anyone, you guys seen this, but like Ninja's H1Z1 days, where if he was in the same lobby as like Tfue, that shit was the most toxic shit I've ever seen in my life. Like the shit that those two, I know, but the shit those two would say back and forth to each other was just golden. It was just like, is this really happening right now on Twitch? Like, is this allowed to happen? So I could see that, but you're right, it probably won't happen for publicity.
Yeah, honestly, I think he's doing everything right. I think he shouldn't stream anymore. I think at this point he got the money. He's already well known.
Yeah.
I think he hit the ceiling for streaming, so I think now he's thinking about what's next, right? But
he definitely did hit a ceiling. Yeah, he definitely went above and beyond.
But the person I want to see continue streaming is Dr. Disrespect, and I am convinced.
Absolutely.
I'm convinced that that contract was cut because they wanted to bring Logic into Twitch. But I'm just saying it, man. I'm just saying.
Really? So, all right. So, curveball me that one. Why would they just cut him automatically? Like, cut him out of contract just because they wanted to bring Logic in?
I think in a sense they might want to get away from the whole Twitch gimmick of like maybe the streamer image and move towards like a musical celebrity status, like someone that's already well established. You know, why start from someone over here that's growing, that's, you know, not liked by everyone, you know, and just get someone that everyone knows, everyone watches, and then you can slowly get some other big names. So I personally think it was a business decision, and I think we will never know what the reason is because of the
of course,
I'm sure there's a confidential
there's gag orders, confidentialities, you know, whatchamacallits, you know, where you sign the thing, you won't talk. But yeah,
I just think Dr. Disrespect should continue to stream because I think he should just do his own thing, like do his own website. I'm sure people will go on it.
Oh my god, if he said I'm gonna stream on doc.tv, I mean, he would literally his website would be fine. He'd get the same amount of viewers. People that want to watch him are gonna watch him no matter what. Unlike, I mean, I used to watch Shroud every single day, and we'll get to him in a second. I used to watch him every day play PUBG or whatever he was playing, Apex, because he is just he's a next level talented gamer that I don't think anyone can disagree with. He is one of the best in FPS, came from Counter-Strike, pinnacle of FPS competitive, you know, gaming, and he's just so fun to watch. And he's still he's still funny to watch. Like the whole Wadu clips in PUBG where the player would literally like try and he would stream snipe him deliberately, but he wouldn't try and kill him. He would literally like sneak up on him and just Wadu, 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 and like you'd have like no clothes on in the game or whatever, and he'd be running around and stuff. And so like that kind of stuff was always like quality content to me, and but yeah, it is definitely something I want to see come back is the doc. When he took that time off from everything that happened to him in his personal life, his comeback was amazing.
And let's face it, like he's someone that whoever works on his marketing team is fantastic. And
100%.
If anyone here has watched his YouTube clip with it's the always, like it's a music video, I think it's sick. It's smart. He's planning for sure of what's to come.
Absolutely.
But he's undoubtedly like he easily has the best production when it comes to Twitch streaming. I think it's pretty sweet. But yeah, we'll always target a couple people in the chat. But Nacho brought up a good point. He's averaged 600 to 700,000 viewers on his stream. So for Twitch to just ban him, just all of a sudden, I think it's a complete business decision, right?
Yeah.
I think they just, they must have made it was a multi-year deal. Let's say 3 years, millions of dollars, and I'm sure they just said, you know what? Because of this COVID thing, because of this, that, you know what? Let's split this up a little bit.
Yep.
Right. So
I agree.
But when it comes to Shroud is another genius, right?
Oh,
he just
yeah.
posted a clip yesterday, and he's said every single stream that he would never go back into pro gaming. And if you guys notice his gun clip, or it's a GIF that he made, so it's like a pun. It's like he pulled the trigger on a deal, and I think he's gonna be a Valorant pro gamer. Because in the clip, in the middle of the gun, it's actually a character that he uses in the game, which is pretty sweet.
Oh, okay.
So I think he's gonna go back into pro gaming. I think he got the money. He doesn't really need to stream as much anymore, and now I think he can focus on just being a pro gamer and chilling out.
Yeah, that would be pretty. I mean, I really do enjoy his content from a gaming standpoint, just because of his level of competitiveness, and he's definitely, yeah, I mean, he's definitely someone that I've been missed being able to watch because he went to Mixer, and I'm gonna be honest, Mixer's interface was dog shit. I fucking hated it. It was just, I couldn't stand the stickers and the fucking shit just popping up everywhere, and it was really annoying. Like, I love Goth too. He's got good quality streams on when he was on Twitch. I barely watched him because of Mixer and their interface. But now he's on Facebook, so I can watch him there because the interface there is fine.
Oh, the app is incredible, and on desktop, like I'll be honest, I was a bit skeptical when it comes to Facebook.
Yeah.
But it looks fantastic. Honestly, they're doing a pretty good job there. So we'll see how it goes. But to move on to the next topic, we got Beyond Light. I'm sure everyone's excited for November 10th's launch. What are you most excited about?
Oh man, my biggest thing with Destiny right now, the lack of new content. Well, not the lack of new content, I should say, because they have been pumping out a lot of new content. Therefore, the lack of replayability of old content. We're in year what now of Destiny 2?
We're going to be hitting 6 in September, I guess. Or 6 right now. We're on 6. Yeah.
6. So we're in year 6. And I mean, I would be the first one to say, I'll be honest, like it's tiresome for me to do the same old activities week in week to get to the base light, And I kicked myself because I didn't get to do the Umbral farm like everyone else did. I don't know what I was doing that week. Obviously, I was on Twitter because I am a Twitter whore, and I'm always on Twitter regardless of the time or the day.
Are you saying that you wish you cheated in the game?
Yeah, I'll say it. Yeah, I wish I was able to Umbral farm up to 1050, because the current, the current replayability of the game for me is just, I'm tired right now. So my biggest thing with Lightfall, right? No, Beyond Light. Lightfall's 2023. I'm jumping up. Beyond Light, I just hope that they bring in a bunch of new stuff that is going to be replayable and gonna just revitalize that need for me to want to come home and get on Destiny and do my weeklies and raid, do everything that I want to do every week. Yeah, it's just
No, and
I'm just tired of the same old grind, basically.
and I'm sure there's more to come for sure. And I guarantee you we're gonna have more drama every month because the most recent one was Panda with the run, his one frame click ability. That's
Oh my god, yeah.
it was just hilarious. I think it was such good evidence in that video, and I think to me, I think if we look at Destiny as a whole, I think this quiet time in the summer is filled with all the drama that goes on, right? So, and then we wait till November 10th, we're going to play the game, we're going to have fun with new content, and then more drama is going to fill in the gaps. Because that's what I feel.
Absolutely.
I feel like any time the game is dying or gets quiet, boom, something happens. You know what I mean? So, like something unreal. I don't know if you watched I watched all 30 minutes of that speculation on Panda's one frame click.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I was ready to say he was a cheater, but I'm just like, okay, let me wait.
Well, but that's it's a good friend of ours has said time and time again, there's three sides to every story. There's there are two sides of the story and the truth, and it's such a with today's day and age, especially with everything that's happened in the past few months on Twitch or on Twitter and Twitch and the Destiny community and just the gaming community in entirety, because it kind of released this floodgate of cancel culture and stories that came out, and not downgrading the stories at all. It's important for those stories to be heard and to be told, and everyone on every side, anyone who was affected. But yeah, the whole cancel culture thing is just like it's a bad thing, honestly, because it's like whoever talks first, whoever comes out first is usually the one that's just gonna get fucking swept under a rug.
And it's 100% true, because when it comes to you see that first accusation, whatever it is, and you go, shit, that's a pretty well informed video.
Yeah.
But then you never know about that next side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give a shout out to Pump right here in the chat. Weiss called him stupid. I saw the video.
I did too. It's right there. I got the evidence.
Well,
I got the receipts.
Because you stole the video and you posted it on Twitter.
Okay, all right, fine. Let's clear this up. I didn't steal the video.
No, you stole the video. You stole it from Jin. It's Jin's video. You stole his video. Tagged everyone.
All right, fine. How I did it was wrong, but
no. Not only that, you ended up deleting the tweet and re-uploading the tweet as a censored version, right? So you did not get any permission doing that.
Like you're stealing shit? Yeah, caught red-handed. Viking.
The worst part about it, we have Jin just being like, "Hey, wait, what's going on here?" You know what I mean? But yeah, you definitely know about stealing shit, all right? So, don't get me wrong about that.
But anyway, moving on.
But yeah, so in terms of what I think about Beyond Light and with everything going on, so Beyond Light, I'm excited for. I'm convinced that it's gonna be, a reset, because they're deleting so much content in the game.
Oh yeah.
And I'm crossing my fingers and hoping for the best. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna stop playing the game.
Absolutely.
So I could care less. And with Halo multiplayer being free to play, I have no games to buy this year, so I'm ready to just play a Destiny.
Don't even get out of here with this fucking treason. You can't tell me you're not gonna play the story for Halo, for the new Halo game.
I don't know if I'm gonna pay $80 to play a campaign.
Guys, do you fucking hear this?
I'm not paying $80 to pay.
One of the greatest storytelling campaign games in the history of video games.
Yeah, Bungie had the greatest Halo story game. 343 story in Halo is dog shit.
Halo 5 Halo 5 reeled me back in. They put the reel out there. We're waiting. They reeled me back in.
They have to show me more, and then I'll decide later. But I'm excited for Beyond Light, regardless of the fact. And in terms of the Panda situation that happened a week ago or so, I do not believe he was cheating. Seeing Marco Styles' video was very well done,
Oh yeah.
and it opens your eyes a little bit in terms of how streaming and video encoding works, and I thought that was pretty sweet.
Hmm.
I've learned ever since the Frostbolt accusation from a year
A
ago
very good point.
to learn that I will never choose a side. I will just hear both sides and just sit back, because I remember Frostbolt being accused by that girl,
Frostbolt was
and
canceled quicker than he could take off his shoes.
oh, everyone blew that shit up. Even
Everybody.
I believed he was a piece of shit at the time, and then suddenly you hear his side, and you're like, wait a minute.
Yep.
You know, he had receipts, he had proof, and you're just like, you know what? I gotta stop basically jumping on the bandwagon and suggesting, okay, this guy is a piece of shit. No, I gotta hear both sides, because you never know in this day and age of what's real, what's not.
True.
Because it's tough, right?
Yeah, I mean it is a tough world and tough way of how things are done right now, and you know that's a perfect example. And there's a lot of situations still going on right now that people don't know the whole story, and hopefully somewhat of a truth can come out to clear some of those stories up, because it's the same Frostbolt thing. It's cancel culture. People's names are just being dragged through the mud over and over and over, and yeah, it's wild to sit back and not say anything about a topic because you don't want to get canceled either.
Exactly.
You can't.
In a way, you can't have an opinion.
Absolutely.
Right? So,
yeah, and it's unfortunate to see stuff like that happen. See your friends' names dragged through the mud, and just completely, like, it's every single day you see something. It's like,
and it's huge, right? Like recently today, we have the Say No to Rage thing, because he's now streaming on YouTube, and you're just like,
Yep.
you can't comment on the situation, you can't say anything,
Nope.
because the moment someone disagrees with you, then you'll get retweeted and blasted. So
And then you're done.
this is probably the one topic we won't go into in this podcast, is Say No to Rages, just because I'm sure they're going through some legal stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know the guy, I don't know the girls, I don't know the situation, since I wasn't there for it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, any serious accusations when it comes to sexual assault or anything like that needs to just be dealt legally, like with the actual authorities, because this Twitter back and forth banter is just at this point stupid. It's high school shit.
Yeah. And there you go.
If he did all those things, awesome. He's gonna pay for it, right?
Yeah.
If he, and that's probably the topic that we won't get into, because we're not the females in that situation, and
Yeah.
we're not him in that situation. But
Can't speak on their behalf, and it's.
and I ain't no lawyer, so I don't know, man.
Exactly. And Nacho, my boy Nacho, cheers to you, brother. I can't wait to see you again next year. But he comes up with a great point. Imagine thinking Twitter is on par with a court of law, like
Yep.
it. And holy shit, you can't tee that one up any better, Nacho. It really is. It's the world we live in. Unfortunately, 2020's been a shithole. Shit, we could talk about 2020, Spider, for an entire fucking podcast.
Oh,
I mean,
this year has been, honestly, I'm convinced that ever since Kobe Bryant passed away, it's the world just gone to shit. They're like, fuck, this is it. You know what I mean? Everything, one thing after the other, and it's because he's gone, man.
Honestly,
we need Kobe back in this world.
I love my man Kobe. He was I played basketball growing up. It was probably one of the first sports I played. That and baseball I played every other year. Obviously winter and springtime. They were counterparts, but honestly, the world went to shit ever since Tony Stark died. In Endgame. So let's be honest. That was the real first snowball, and then Kobe died. So really, the world has been shit since Iron Man died.
Don't you dare put Tony Stark's name above Kobe Bryant.
I'm not.
Don't you dare.
I'm not. Nah, Kobe is.
Kobe's a legend.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But no, it's true. This year has been very. I think it's kind of. It feels like a cleanse to this year. You have. Let's face it, the world is a very dirty place.
Yep.
And all of these things about germs and viruses, it makes sense that we need to start getting our act together. The amount of hand sanitizer machines that I see now everywhere, it should have been there in the first place.
Agreed.
Right? So I feel like the world is getting their act together in terms of that. All of these racial accusations, sexual accusations, people coming forward. I think that's another wake up call for, the Hollywood industry, Twitch, online, offline, whatever the case may be. I think it's nice that people are finally getting the strength to be heard, right? And I think
Yep.
those two things are huge this year, right?
I completely agree.
But the next topic we can talk about, if we want to jump forward here, is what do you think about Trials? What do you think about, if we go back to gaming related? What do you think about Trials?
Oh man, Trials. Where's the video? The Vidoc from Bungie saying, the most important thing we didn't want to do is, put it out half baked. Well, unfortunately, it was put out half baked. I love Trials in D1. I have some very fond memories with some of my friends that I first started playing Halo with. Viking knows. I mean, I played with two of our buddies in our clan every single week. We went flawless 3 times a week, and then we would help other people out in the clan to play, and it was a lot of fun. It was very enjoyable. And then Destiny 2, Trials of the Nine, and all the different ways they tried to add newness to it. It just never really synced up with what the community wanted. And unfortunately, they took such a long hiatus for it. And when you take a long hiatus from something, you are going to probably 9 out of 10 times fail coming back. Because you're never going to fully grasp what the community all wants together and what Bungie could do themselves to make it the best they could. So I love the idea of Trials.
I agree. Like, Trials as a whole is a great idea, but there's a couple things that I would like implemented in Trials. We got Total Sunbro here in the chat asking that, and number one, everyone complains about 3-peaking, but I don't know if anyone forgot, but D1 had 3-peaking. Everyone emoted in D1 Trials, right? It always happened. But if I were to make one suggestion, emoting should be disabled in Trials. And number two, in terms of sword peaking, I think if the sword has no ammo, you can't put on the sword.
Agreed. You shouldn't be able to change to it.
Right? Like, if you have ammo on the sword, awesome. 3-peak all you want because you have ammo. But since you have no ammo in the sword, you shouldn't be able to put it on, right? At all.
Agreed. Yeah, no,
So I do that. Another thing that I would add in Trials is they need guaranteed God roll armor pieces.
Absolutely.
But only for flawless.
Yeah, that whatever that one piece of armor is a week in the in the chest at the lighthouse, that piece needs to be God tier.
Yeah, and I think it needs to be like
S tier. Yeah, it needs to be it needs to be almost near it needs to be an amazing piece with an opportunity of it to be like an actual perfection. Like
and yeah, exactly. I think it should be a high stat roll, and well, not just saying disable swords and Trials. I wouldn't. Personally, I think everyone should have the option to play however they want.
Yeah, exactly. How else am I going to meme people around the corner with a sword?
Like, I think swords are dope in PvP, but I don't think they should disable it. I just think they shouldn't put it on if they have no ammo, because let's be realistic here. If your gun has no ammo, you're not using that gun, right? So I think it should be the same thing for Trials. In terms of swords, to not have that gun have that sword on your character unless you pick up that heavy, right? Which you only have to deal with one time in the whole match. I take it, right? But yeah, I would say high stat armor pieces, and I would say a dedicated exotic armor that benefits your character. So I was thinking this the other day. I would say it would be sweet to have an armor piece that benefits you PvP wise in Trials. So I think it'd be cool to have something that has maybe fast revive and double health. So let's say you revive someone, you know how you get full health? I think you should have double. Like, I think you need to be invincible when you revive someone, and that person is invincible too for about like 2 to 3 seconds, so that way they don't get sniped. Because obviously when you res someone, they get sniped, right?
Yep.
So I think it'd be pretty cool to have an exotic piece where you res that person quicker and they cannot be sniped.
That would be pretty cool, because then obviously you're losing out a piece of armor that could be helping you beneficially. with either a
Right.
super or whatever the case. I don't know all the armor pieces by heart for Hunter, but the one that you dodge and it
Hmm.
like disorients your radar and everything and like all your shit. What are those? Gemini Jester, or
Yeah.
is that what it is? Yeah,
Yep.
it's like Gemini Jester is almost like a must have on some maps, like the Cauldron. I remember playing Trials the week of Cauldron, the first week it came back, and it was just nothing but Gemini Jesters. My buddy used it, and I was like, holy shit, this is like cheating. Like they don't even know where you're at. Like it's wild. So it takes away. Yeah, it's gonna give you an opportunity to have a good perk to get a good res and becoming a non-option at the point. Yeah,
It,
Sumbro, but
it depends, right? So it depends on someone's playstyle, Sunbro. I think another it's just I'm just throwing out ideas, but another potential idea would be like maybe dedicated mods that you can earn in trials. So let's say you get a mod where you get quick revive for that match, but you give up half your super energy. So let's
okay.
say there's a reward and a risk. So let's say in that match, you're like, okay, I need to revive this guy. However, I'm gonna lose half my super energy by reviving my buddy in a second. You get a nice reward by reviving your friend, but you have to pay the price.
Okay.
So I think if we have some
Instant
risk and
res.
reward mods, I
Okay.
think it'd be pretty cool. Maybe, maybe in a way, I don't know, if you wanted to get special ammo. I don't know. I'm throwing it out there. Let's say you give special
Yeah.
ammo, but you give away all your super energy.
Damn. Yeah, that would be. And then you'd
Right?
have to find.
Let's say it's the ending. Let's say it's the ending of a match. It's a 1v3 situation, and you're like, shoot, I'm out of special ammo. It's the last round. I have my super. Do I use my super or do I use this? You know, whatever the case may be, but maybe something like just to spice things up, like trials mods. Keep it like it needs to be different, right? And I think we're hitting this RPG element in the game that would make sense if we were able to customize it in some way. And last but not least, on top of armor pieces, we need to look badass. So we need auras. We need fire on the heads. We need auras on weapons. I think it'd be sick to have like a flame effect on certain guns and
Yeah.
exotics, or like on the trials. Let's say you make a gun, a summoner, an adept weapon, but it's glowing. Like it looks badass, sick, just fire all over the place. I think it'd be awesome if they implemented something like that.
Yeah, ranked playlist. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, go back to like how Halo did it. And see, that's the other thing that's like upset me the most with like Destiny PvP. Like Destiny PvP is fun right now because of skill-based matchmaking is out. But one of my favorite things when Halo 2 and Halo 3 was the ranking system. It was one of the best online ranking systems in gaming at the time, and probably still to date, as to how it worked. You know, it was an amazing system that really rewarded, and you had to grind. And if you grinded and you played really well, then obviously you get those sweet sick ranks. I feel like Destiny could bring that back in a way, but uh, I don't know. What do you think?
I think they're more than capable of bringing it in. They're the ones that
Yeah, they
really
created it.
killed it, right? So
Yeah.
I think they could easily bring that back. I think they should bring back capture the flag. I want that.
Oh my god,
mode.
yes. Uh-huh.
I think it'd be cool to just have that as trials. Screw elimination, Let's try something different. Let's try capture the flag. Let's try something new, fresh, right? I think it's an easy idea for them to just implement that. I think another idea as well would be if we can do targeted loot. So let's say beginning of trials, you choose what you want to earn that week, that flawless. So if you say, you know what, I want a high stat mobility 25 stat piece. I'm aiming for this. Awesome. So let's say you target that piece. It'd be cool if you could just like earn what you want.
Kind of like how the Umbral system works. Like before you go to
Exactly.
shacks and
Hmm.
you click what you, or maybe instead you could, with your trials token, your trials passage, once it's flawless, you go back to shacks and then you return the passage for an armor piece or a gun piece or something like that that's a high stat. Well, guns, it wouldn't matter. So armor, you could do helmet, gauntlets, chest, all five pieces. Um, specifying what you want. And I like what they did with the Umbral system. I thought it was new, it was different. It gave you the ability to pick something from Gambit or from, Crucible or whatever stat tier rolls you, armor pieces you'd really want. So I think it's available. I think they just would have to. Obviously, they're probably working on a bunch of stuff that we don't know about.
Yeah, I think at this point they just got to think of something, because I picture myself having trials as capture the flag. So you have two elements in the game. Either you try to kill people as quickly as possible, or you throw that flag on the other side. And I think that'd be just something different. But yeah,
But would it be a res system, or would it be a revive system for capture the flag? Then would it be like a timed round? Like, how would you do that then?
It would have to be timed for sure, because people would just camp.
True.
Right. So timed for sure, and I'd say revive. Like, they just revive on their own. Like, this is a res. Respawn.
Yeah, kind of like how Rift was.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that'd be just something different. Let's say the team is not good at shooting people. Awesome. Maybe they're good at being strategic and getting that flag and coming back. Right. So I think it'd be cool to have like attack on defense and vice versa, and seeing how that works. But I don't know. Who knows what they'll decide later on? But from the looks of it, nothing's changing in Trials. And hopefully they get an anti-cheat or something to scare some hackers away. Because I'm trying to get my brother flawless this month, and out of, I want to say 20 cards that we've done this month, only 4 we actually lost to good teams. The rest were all hackers, unfortunately.
Yeah.
My brother couldn't even believe it.
That's wild, honestly. It is. And that's the biggest thing, and like it annoys me. Like, I'm trying to go back now and come back and play a little bit. I played last night, ran a raid with Jin, who else was in there? Jin, Fitzy, Datto, Dusa.
Yeah, search and destroy, exactly. Like basically what Valorant is right now. I think that'd be sick.
And I enjoy coming back and playing. And there's a title, the Moments of Triumph title, makes you go win 7 rounds of trials. Mm-hmm. Now I know I could just play one game and restart, one game, restart, one game, restart, have easy first game lobbies, but like, just the thought of running into hackers and cheaters and trials is just so disheartening and such a killjoy. Like, I have no need to want to play it, but I know I'm gonna have to force myself to play 7 games in order to get that triumph completed. So
the 7 games is easy. It's just getting the flawless is a pain.
I know, yeah, and I already. Wait, do you need flawless for the seal?
No. Not for the seal. Yeah, you need to be flawless 4 times.
No, for the Moments of Triumph one though.
No.
Just okay. Gotcha. Yeah. That's for the trials seal.
Yeah.
Which I don't care for that one. I just found out last night that everything got restarted after this season, so I was like, oh cool, everything I already did just got restarted at the end of the season. I was kind of mad about that. I didn't know they did that.
Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah, if you didn't complete the seal before the end of the season, it restarted.
Yeah. The only thing that will stay is your collection.
It's kind of bullshit, but hey, here nor there.
We'll move on to the next topic. Let's do that Joe Rogan clip. I don't know if you want to pull it up.
Oh, let me see. Can I do
the worst case? Well, you could just talk about it. So I don't know if anyone here has watched the Joe Rogan clip, but he basically talks about, that gaming is a waste of time. So I'll just pretty much summarize it. This gaming is a waste of time, and that people are just spending countless of hours, and not going anywhere, right? So if I were to say anything about that clip, I totally agree with him. I think unless you are working towards something, you can do it?
Yeah, I can play it.
All right, play it. Let's do it. Let's show it to people.
Oh, hold on. Oh God, everything's bad. Oh God, this is a real. God, fuck me. There we go. All right, we're gonna do this.
I've never been that kid though. I've always been into things. I was into art, or I was into something. I always found things that I was interested in. Just none of them seemed like they were normal things that other people wanted to do for a living, like the path, like a career path. But I think that there's a lot of people that don't have any. There's no one. They're not modeling their life after someone that they see that they admire. Someone that's successful. Someone that is doing something that they enjoy and love. Sometimes kids have to see that, right. And if their parents are living a bullshit life and their neighbors live in a bullshit life, and most of their family lives a bullshit life. They just fucking lay around, you know, and then they seek refuge in drugs or video games or something that stimulates them. And video games are a real problem. They're a real problem. You know why? Because they're fucking fun.
Addictive.
And you don't. Yeah. Well, I have a real problem with them. And you do them, and they're real exciting, but you don't get anywhere.
Right.
It's like you could do like martial arts, right? You could learn jujitsu. You get obsessed by jujitsu, and then 3 years later, you're like an elite jujitsu athlete. You're entering in competitions. You're a purple belt.
You're moving up.
Yeah, you're doing well.
Right.
You're thinking like, I might be able to open my own school one day.
You got confidence.
Yeah, if I have 100 students and those 100 students are paying me X amount of dollars per month, I can make a living. Holy shit, I can have this would be amazing. And then you see your jiu-jitsu school, and your jiu-jitsu instructor has all these students and drives a Mercedes, and he's got a nice family, and like, that's the future. This way, you're doing something exciting and fun, and you don't. Or you could just be playing fucking video games. 3 years later, you could be that same kid just playing video games, waiting for the next whatever the fuck game is, you know, next Xbox game to come out, and you're gonna waste your time.
You have children. I have children, and it's a big battle in the house.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, it's my problems here and there with this is you know, his. God, I'm a fucking professional. Holy shit, I'm so good at life. You know, part of that video, and back to the whole cancel culture thing. You know, part of the video that got leaked initially on Twitter was cut off. You know, he didn't have that intro where he kind of explained a little bit of what he was going into and how it led into it, but like I can count on my like two hands the amount of people that were not going to be probably either successful they could have been successful at something else, but they chose the avenue of gaming. And you know, I'm sure their parents, like, I don't know if you know, but like Ninja his, you know, when he wanted to play Halo growing up, his parents were like, no. Well, sure, you can game, we'll support you, but you're gonna go to school, you're gonna stay in your honors classes, you're gonna be an athlete, because he was already an athlete. He played what was he? I think he was baseball, or maybe I think it was baseball, whatever the sport was, fill it in. You know, he was an athlete, and they said, you're gonna continue doing these things, you're gonna keep good grades, you're gonna be an athlete, you're gonna do this, but if gaming is successful for you after you've graduated and gotten a degree, then that's the avenue you can take. And obviously it's worked for him. He's one of the richest, you know, kids under 30. He's probably how old is Zuckerberg? Zuckerberg's over 30, right?
Yeah.
He's probably the most wealthiest person under 30 naturally. I'm not talking about those oil princes, you know, like naturally from what he's earned probably in the world. Joe is 100% talking about kids these days that do nothing but play video games 24/7 during the summertime, and then they come home from school. I agree with you, Pump, but you know, people jumped on him. I jumped on him because gaming has done a lot of good for a lot of people.
But I don't think that's what he's talking about. He's talking about not what gaming has done for people. He's talking about more what kids are doing. Like, they're just wasting time. Like, let's face it, if I were to have kids right now, I don't want, like, they would have to be done school, number one, like 100%. And then they need to have goals in mind. Like, I have no problem if they want to play games as much as they want to. Like, we do. We all play games here a lot. Mm-hmm. However, most of us here have jobs. Like, I will never jeopardize my relationship or my work or in any terms of making money that issue that. But in terms of this clip, they just got that one, because think about it like this.
They posted like the 20-second clip saying, oh, I got a big problem with video games. He sits back, they're fucking dog shit, they're doing this
Right, like it's funny because people hear, let's say, 100 words, but they only listen to like 5 of them, right? They just grab on. Like, if someone says to you, I want to buy this car, awesome, so I will sell you this car for $1 million, but for today, you know, we'll see what we can do, maybe 80,000, whatever, right? And then they hear, 80,000, right? But they don't hear that you have to pay for the car today. They don't hear the million. They don't hear anything else. They only hear what they want to hear, and I think that's the problem. Because Joe is completely right. Like kids are wasting their time. There's only a very small group of Twitch streamers that are actually making money.
Yes.
And not only that, most of them, I shouldn't say most, but let's say, a fair amount of them make as much money as you would anywhere else, right? So the
Agreed.
ones that are making it and killing it, people are idolizing these streamers, which is great. They're reaching their goals. However, I think people forget to realize that people like Nick Merckx, Tim the Tatman, they didn't just become famous. They worked their asses off for years and years and years. However, they also did other things. Like Ninja worked at Starbucks, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, for many, many years.
Yeah.
I believe it's Starbucks. Right? So I think you need a job, you still need to work. And Joe's right. If you're not doing any of those things and you're just wasting your time playing video games and not playing sports, not socializing out there, because another topic that we may touch on later on is depression, right? How many kids out there are depressed at home, not having any friends to talk to, or no social skills? Imagine a gamer trying to do a job interview in real life.
I'll tell you what, though, my fun story, my current job, 2 years ago I had my interview, and my career, I'm in sales and sales representation, and on Jug, I got 2 concurrent viewers, boys. Time to go full time and quit my job. That is, holy shit, that's a fucking mood. Holy shit, Jugs, that is literally a mood, and you see it daily on Twitter.
And yeah, Punk,
I quit my job last week.
Face-to-face interaction, 100%.
Yes,
absolutely.
I quit my job last week, and I'm going full time on Twitch. I hope you'll support me. See you Monday at 8 a.m. And it's like, whoa, bro, what are you doing? You can't do that. Like, that's a whole mood. But yeah, no, like gaming, like, so in retrospect to it not being giving people the ability to either have a good interview or to have, face to face human interaction, like Pump said. I had my interview. There was the 5 owners in there and the founder of the company. It was a 6-person interview. I thought I was getting killed for the first few minutes as people kept coming in. And I shared, they asked me if I had any skills with PowerPoint, Excel, kind of just basic stuff like that, because it's an office job and, I'd have to learn how to do that. And I shared one of the PowerPoints that I created for one of my panels that I had. Because, in the PowerPoint, I had all the different slides and stuff that I created for my presentation about what I was showing interest in. And I had that on my iPad and I had it ready. And they asked me, and I'm like, well, I'll, show you, take a look at this. And I passed it around the room, and they were very impressed with it. And to this day, they come to me for help with PowerPoint stuff. What do I think about this, like with our website and stuff like that? So there's some of that's going to help, but then there's the other part that if you just bury yourself in front of a monitor for 12 hours a day, you're going to lose interaction skills and social abilities to do things.
100%. And I completely agree with that, because at the end of the day, you need face-to-face, you need to see people, you need to interact. And not only that, let's face it, how else are you going to live a life? Like, when are you going to get married, maybe have kids? Like, what are your ultimate goals? Because a lot of the streamers, obviously, there's no health insurance, right?
Nope.
They're not that way, right? Are they saving their money? Because they're paying a shit ton of taxes. Because think about it. Let's say they're making $10,000 a month. Half of it is going to Twitch, or let's say, a quarter of it, whatever. And then the rest of the money, they gotta put in another 30% away, because they're gonna get taxed a shit bunch, right? And I think that's gonna be, a serious thing, because this leads to depression and everything else, which I think would be a good topic to talk about next week. Because I am someone who've never hit depression. I told Pump this the other day, that it's weird for me to hear about people depressed and sad and tweeting like, oh, today I have a rough day, I'm depressed. I don't know what that feels like. Like, I've never woken up and felt like, wow, I'm sad. or anything like that. And I told Pump, I was like, I don't know what that feels like, so I can't even like comment on any situation like that. I can just speak for what I do to always stay positive.
You've never been depressed? You've never been like...
I've been like maybe sad for a moment, but I never hit that stage of depression where like it was like a long period. You know what I mean? Like I think I've I think the best example that I could ever give someone that I felt depressed was like when my parents divorced, which could be another topic later on.
Yeah.
But my parents divorced when I was 19, and I cried. Right? Like I was just like
yeah.
I thought it was like I was the problem, right? But then I'll be honest with you, the next day I was back to normal. Like I was just like chill, like I was back like being my happy self, right? Because I think it does help having the social interaction and having so many friends like in real life that helps, you know, basically bring you down and like open your mind a little bit. Because I had another friend who had divorced parents, and he like basically opened my eyes more so. And I think I just never hit that moment where I was depressed for a long period of time. Like it's
I am envious of you, and
yeah,
I know a lot of people probably are gonna what?
And you know me very well. Like DJ obviously knows me very, very well. I'm not a depressed person. I'm very, very chill and level-headed.
Yeah.
I don't let things bother me, man. I think that's the life I live. Like even with my girlfriend, like I'm very, very calm. You know, like you know her. She's sometimes she gets nervous.
No, and that's
I'm that nice, calm guy. Like don't worry, everything will be fine.
Honestly, you two fit together very well because I know her. I've known her for fucking I don't know 6 years. I think 5 years now. Go 5-6 years now. And yeah, you're right because you guys fit together like two puzzle pieces because she, you're a very happy-go-lucky and just calm and easygoing person. You don't overreact. You don't really. I've never seen you lose your temper. And if you were to like lose your temper with her, I know because she kind of just like she just gets upset, she'll get quiet. So like you guys fit together perfectly because it would never get to that.
and I think it does help. Like, and the DJ is saying here, I've been depressed. I don't tell many people that. And let me just say this, gaming did not help at all. That made it worse. And I totally agree with that. Because that time I was sad, I didn't go to gaming. Because gaming would just be a distraction for that moment. And then suddenly you go to bed, you wake up, nothing's really been resolved. You haven't talked about it to someone. And I think as long as you have that one or two people that you can talk to and open up, I think that totally helps like relieve some stress and some pain. I had a lot of friends that were older than me, which helped. But I would say I definitely I don't want to say I have a problem, but I think about the solution. I think about the other avenue. And I think the best example I can give is I was on a business trip. So I'm in the hotel room watching some TV, and one of my colleagues knocks on my door. Boom, 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 boom. I was just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
So I opened the door slightly. I'm like, yo, are you okay? And he just barges in and gives me a hug and starts crying.
Oh my god.
He's bawling.
Shit.
And I mean, like,
he's like full loser. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first moment I've ever seen a real man cry. Like, not a tear. Like, like his whole face is soaked in tears, and he's just crying. And I don't know what the fuck is going on. So I'm just like holding this man crying, and this is a new hire, which was only working there for about a month. So I barely know the guy. And
Poor
I'm
guy.
training him. And we're on a business trip in another city in Canada. And I'm holding him, and I say, yo, what's going on? And he says his ex-girlfriend just killed herself. Right? And they have kids.
God.
And I'm probably the most insensitive person when it comes to people I don't know very well. First words out of my mouth were, how are the kids? Like, where are the kids? I didn't care that she killed herself. First moment is like, where are the kids? Because I could only imagine what the fuck is going on. So I never think about I always think about the other avenue. I think about something else. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? To help that person realize what's more important. You know what I mean? Because right now, if you have kids, let's face it, they're the number one. So he was crying about her. And then first thing, I'm just like, yo, where are your kids? Where are they right now? He's like, they're with the grandmother. They're safe. I'm like, perfect. Now let's touch on what's going on. Like, Are you okay? Let's open up about that, right? Because I think people in any situation in life focus on one thing, and they don't realize there's other important things in your life that truly matter most, right?
I completely agree, and we can definitely this is a very good topic. I'm sure that will obviously hit home for a lot of other people, except you, because you just have a heart of gold that you just can't feel emotions. So maybe we could have a special guest on that show just to kind of fill in more conversation, so I'm not talking to a wall. But no, it's like it's a real thing, and kind of like what Pump said, I've gone through it a few times, and I can feel like with what Pump said, you have to force yourself to get out, and gaming does become a unhealthy outlet. Let's see. Last year, so it's like 2017 into 2018, I had a really good job. I moved for it. I was working from home. I made a lot more money than the previous job I had that I left that I loved. So this is like a both avenue of like, I had a great job that I loved and I was happy and everything was great in life. And then I took this other job, long distance, out of state, and I fucking hated it. It negatively affected my friendships, my relationships with my with my family. And when I lost that job, my brother he was like, no, like, because I had gone through it before with something else in life, and he was like, I know what you went through prior. I'm not going to let it happen to you again. And he basically pulled my ass out of my apartment, like not physically, but he was like, come downtown, come to the gym. We're either going to work out a bunch. You're going to help me with stuff around the gym. You're going to hang out with your niece and nephew. Like you're going to get out of your apartment. You're not going to just sit at home, because it is so easy. It is literally easy just to sleep in and just sit on your couch, self-wallow and self-pity. And if you don't have someone, exactly, and if you don't have someone who will pull you out of that, or force yourself out of that situation, it's a dark hole. It's really, and I'm happy that you've never had to feel that or go through that, because it's a dark.
Not for that long, anyways.
Yeah, it's a dark thing. So I mean, it's definitely something you got to force yourself to get out of. But we could talk about that another day.
Yeah, we could
go into that. We could go into that more, because that's a whole hour of just talking. But
I will add that your brother is way cooler than you.
Okay, hold on. Whoa.
So I've met your brother, and obviously not many people have here, but undoubtedly, with no question, he's a way cooler person.
That's fucked up, man.
Than this guy next to me. I'm telling you right now, guys. We should have him as a guest. Honestly,
he's been wanting to like co-stream with me for the longest time. I think
we should get him on, because undoubtedly everyone's gonna be like Liger 313. Who?
More like, right? Scarface. That was his name. Growing up.
We'll get onto that another time. But I want to get into the 5 hot takes, because we're hitting almost an hour here. So like I said in the beginning of the stream, I just thought of this today because I want to end the stream with something like different than any other podcast, because at the end of the day there's thousands and thousands of podcasts. And we gotta spice things up.
And I have a lot of hot takes.
So these are called Liger's 5 hot takes. So I'm gonna give him 2 options. Okay. So like I said in the beginning, let's say I say Pokemon or Digimon, and he says the first thing, 2 seconds, one of those options. So he could be like Pokemon. Next hot take, this or that. Next one, this or that. Okay. So there's going to be 5 hot takes here that I'm going to mention. And by the way, every week we're going to be planning this podcast every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I think that's a good time, just for an hour. I don't want to drag this on. That's why we just like hit every topic quickly, get to the point, cut the bullshit. We'll talk about drama thing, like anything drama related happening in gaming and in Destiny, and we'll talk about some like other things. Okay. So first hot take: milk before cereal or cereal before milk?
Cereal before milk. If you, anyone in chat, if you put fucking milk before cereal, you're a...
Hey, don't judge people.
I will! That's part of the hot take, motherfucker.
Right.
You're a disturbed person.
Number 2, chocolate or candy?
What? Chocolate is candy, you dumbass.
Motherfucker, I said chocolate or candy.
Chocolate is candy. Yeah.
No. I'm talking about, like, let's say Kit Kat or like Skittles. That's what I mean.
Oh, chocolate. Chocolate.
Thank you. Ryan Gosling or Ryan Reynolds?
Gosling.
All right. A snake bite on your ball sack or a shark bite on your leg?
A snake bite on my ball sack. I'm not losing a fucking leg.
I don't know how I feel. I don't know.
Oh, God, that hurts to think about it.
So, you want something on your ball sack. You want a mouth in your ball sack. That's just you heard it here first.
You, come on! You son of a bitch.
I thought it'd be hilarious to do that one. Okay. So, all right, and the last but not least, suck the poison out of someone's dick to save their life, or eat a pile of horse shit. Hey, you got 2 seconds, bro. Hurry the fuck up. I don't got all day.
Eat a pile of horse shit.
So
I'm not fucking sucking someone's dick to save their life. Fuck no.
You heard it here first. You will eat a pile of
I will eat a pile of shit. I am not sucking no one's dick to save their life. I'm sorry. That's it. Cut.
All right.
Suck
and that's
my.
the end of the hot. That's
suck
the end
me,
of the
daddy.
5 hot takes. We'll do the hot takes every single week with Liger's, choices in life, and it's a good way to learn more about him. And but yeah, that's pretty much the end of Guardian Popcorn. So
There we
be sure
go.
to come next week, man. Come next Friday.
Next
Friday
Friday.
will be on my stream, and then we'll alternate. And we'll see if people continue to like the podcast. Maybe we'll dedicate it to one channel.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you guys for coming out. Like I said, this has been a long time thing that Spider and I have joked about between us and someone else, and we were I just kind of said, fuck it, one day we're gonna fucking do this, and then we kind of put stuff together, and here we are. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you back next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Spidercides Twitch. All right, see you guys.